Good evening, happy stampers. How is everybody this evening? Welcome to Tools and Techniques Thursday. My name is Judy Anderson. I'm an independent demonstrator from the United States and team leader to the Happy Stampers and Inks team. Tonight we're going to be using the Splendid Day Suite again. We've been using it all week, and tonight we're using the dies even more. So I'd like to welcome those of you watching on Facebook, whether you're watching live or on replay. Please say hello or let me know that you're watching on replay, and let us all know where you're coming from. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, welcome to you too. Make sure you subscribe so that you know each time I come live. And you know what? You guys can comment too. So leave me a comment. I will always answer your comments. So, Splendid Day Suite. I'm going to make sure that I am on. It is not showing that I am on yet. So let me get around here and make sure that I am live. Yes, I am live. As my husband comes sneaking down the stairs. So, okay, so be sure you leave a comment and I will try to make sure I watch the feed, but don't feel left out if I don't say hello to you or comment right away. I will get to you after this is done. So, like I said, we've been using the Splendid Day Suite all week long, and tonight's card is more for the avid stamper. And I am just getting to the page. I closed my book. This stamp set is found in the annual catalog, or the July to December catalog. Okay, there it is on page 64. I was going to say it's page 64 and 65. So let's take a look at those pages again. So there we go. So on page 64, you'll see some great samples here using the dies in different ways. And then on page 65, you see everything you get when you order this suite. When you order this suite, it's one number and you get everything on this page. Tonight we're using the Splendid Thoughts bundle, which is the stamp set. And it is a set of 9 cling stamps and the dies. And the dies are 9 dies also that cut out or coordinate with the images. We're also going to be using the designer series paper, cutting some die cuts, and I don't think we're going to be using the ribbon tonight. We did use it the other day, and we also use the open leaf trinkets. And speaking about the mini catalog, if you do not have the mini catalog and are not currently working with a demonstrator, please leave me a comment and I will message you or get a hold of you and send one your way. I'd be honored to earn your business. We also have celebration going on now, which with a minimum $50 order here in the States, you can start earning free products. Okay, this paper, like I said, we're using the dies. I've already got the dies that I want to use out. The papers are these. We'll show you what the papers look like. There we go. I don't think I've got all of them here. It was really hard for me to decide tonight between this paper, which has got more of a pink champagne type tone to it, this foil side. And then the other side, you've got just plain. So this is a specialty paper. One side is all foil. I also love this color here. And I think I'm going to go with this color. And then it's got the greens on the back. And then we have this copper right here. We used some of that the other day. And on the back, it has got a Calypso coral print on the back. And then this one, which has got soft sea foam. I think this is my favorite. But you know what? Soft sea foam is one of my, I don't know why, is a favorite color of mine. I think growing up, I always liked it. And on this side, it's pool party. So in this side, you know, we talked about it the other day. Is it pool party or is it soft sea foam? It coordinates with both. it's got more of a blue tone when you use it with soft seafoam, and it's got more of a green tone when you use it with pool party. So it's quite interesting, but it coordinates. And then we have this sheet here, which is just gorgeous. This is more of a silver color, and on the back it's Sahara sand. So this is coordinating with your Sahara sand. This would make a gorgeous wedding card. I think all these papers, and we are going to be using the back side of this. I know, using the back side when we have foil papers. Don't we all just hate to use the back sides when we have gorgeous paper on one side and patterns? And then here we go on this side is more of the fresh freesia and the back side. So like I said, I am leaning towards this one right here. I still may go with this one. I'm going to cut the other ones out and show you what we're going to be using. And then maybe you guys can help me a little bit. Okay, so our card base tonight is just a piece of, oh, I had it here, basic white, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And then I have a bunch of scraps. I have a piece of basic white, which I am planning on cutting a die out of. Oh, here it is. It slipped off. So I'm thinking of cutting this die out of basic white. This is where you can help me. If you don't mind commenting, if you think I should use soft seafoam, soft succulent, or mint macaron. So I'm only cutting one of those out, and those are the 3 greens, and I can't decide. So if you don't mind deciding for me, I would appreciate it. And then, like I said, we are cutting the vase out of this side just because it's got a nice pattern print to it. And then I have Mango Melody. I have not used this in a really long time, and I felt I needed a pop of color. So this is going to be my pop of color tonight. So let's start cutting our paper so we can be ready to start our die cutting. So I'm bringing in my trimmer, and I've already got this paper cut into 6-inch pieces because I did a paper share and I had a half a pack left over. So I want to use the back side of this. So I want to measure my vase to see how wide it needs to be. Now it's just over 1 inch. So I'm going to go to 1 1/8 inch on this. I'm going to bring this in and bring it right there to 1 1/8. And I cut that. I know, how many of you does it bother that I am cutting and using the non-shiny side, non-foil? Okay, so then I'm going to take a look at it, and how big of a piece do I need here? Oh, it's about 2.5 inches. So we're going to cut that at 2.5 inches. And so that is going to be for that piece. So now, have you guys decided which of the greens I should use? So with that in mind, it's going to depend on which of these 2 I use. I think with the Mango Melody, this is going to give this more of a coppery look and a pinky look. And then with the green, and then we have all our greens will coordinate with that. So it doesn't matter which green we choose. Okay, so I'm seeing some comments, and I am seeing mint macaron. Okay, so we're going to use mint macaron, which is that color right there. So out of these 2 colors, I am going to be cutting these leaves out. So I want to measure the leaves and the width of the leaves. So it looks like I'm going to need a 1 7/8 inch piece to be wide enough. So before I decide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper, and I want to show you guys this. I'm going to take my paper to 1 7/8. Okay, and I am going to be cutting into those tips there, which could be okay if I'm using that for a card, but 1 7/8, so if I go from 6 inches, 1 7/8 is leaving me 4 inches high. So that would be a 4-inch square. So, and that would work. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. Well, before I do, let me measure the green. Oh, okay. So I just missed this B up here. I'm just going to go past that B. So that would be okay too. And I am thinking we are going to go, I really wanted the green, but we already have a green leaf. So I want to go with this color. So we're going to go to the 1 7/8 and we are going to cut it. Like I said, that's left me 4 by 12, so I can get 3 4 by 4 pieces out of that. Okay, let's see. Oops, wrong one. Let's see the length, and I'm going to put this on here and see. I can go ahead and not waste much paper because I am missing those tips. Okay, I could have probably gone a little bit narrower, but I don't like to go too narrow. So I'm just going to turn this, and it's at 3 5/8 is where I'm going to cut that off. Okay, and I'm just giving you the measurements. Normally, I just put my die on there, see the size, and give it a cut. Okay. Oh, I did forget one thing. I want to do a 4 by 4 piece of basic white. So I'm going to pull out my basic white and go up to 4 by 4. Okay, so I'm going to use that piece also on my card. Okay, so let's bring our mini cut and emboss machine over. So we're going to be using our plate number 1 and 2 of our plate number 2s. And we're going to put these on so they're stepped up like this. Okay, I'm angling this. I am going to put a second one on here. Sometimes I even cut 3 dies at one time. So let me see what I can get on here. I'm going to get this mint macaron. I'm going to just tear it just a little bit so it fits onto my cutting area fine. Okay, so we're going to cut these 2 here. This one, we're going to step this one also. So we have 3 little steps there. And let's run this through the machine. I need to turn this so I can hold it also. There we go. Make sure I don't hit anything up there, and I am fine. Okay, so we've got this die, and we have these leaves. Don't throw those away, you guys. You could use that. We might even use them on this project. Who knows? But you could do one of these, maybe the green, and do the inside of the leaves, this foil color. So I'm just going to put those in my little bin there. And then we have these leaves. And see how they all just pop right out. I love this set of dies. The insides, all the little chads fall right out easily. Okay, we're going to put our dies in my magnetic little bin here so I don't lose them. Let's pick up our plates again, and we're using number 1 and number 2. And this time we're going to have our Mango Melody. Just going to set that right down in there like that. Then my basic white, right like that. Let's get our top plate on, push it in so it touches, push it down and push it in. And if you hold that top, whoops, got to turn it again. I just moved this. There we go. I've got to turn it so I can hold it, or else it's going to move all over the place. I'm just going to crank that through. Okay, there we go. I think that's it for our die cuts. Just lift that up, put that in my bowl. Let's not lose our die cuts. Lift this one up, and look how nice and delicate they all are. And I just take a piece of cardstock, pop it up, and most of it flies right out for me. Okay, I do have one more thing to cut out, and that is the vase. The vase we're going to cut out of that designer series paper, and we're using the back side instead. Just want to clean my plates off. Let me get my machine back over here. Our mini machine is so handy. So much easier than having to take out my big machine and try to show you guys everything on my big machine when I'm doing my lives. So I'm going to turn this way, and I think you guys can see it then. Okay, at a slight angle so it doesn't warp my die and it goes through smoothly. Let's get this started. Get my hand up there and crank it through. There, it's so much easier when I have it at the right angle for me. Okay, we're going to take that off, and we've got all of our pieces. Okay, so I've got my 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and turn that over. And I have this 4 by 4, and what I want to do is I want to stamp some images in the back, and I'm going to stamp this right here, this big leaf. And I kind of want a tone on tone effect. We could emboss this with white embossing powder, and that would be gorgeous. But I'm thinking that since we're using Sahara sand a lot, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use Sahara sand, and I am going to stamp it off either once or twice. I just want a very subtle background. If I did this in Versamark, you really wouldn't see it because the lighter the paper, the less you see with the Versamark. So I'm just going to stamp it once, twice, and 3 times and see which one I like. I like the third image. Okay, so I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it off once, twice, and then this time I'm going to stamp it on the paper. And see how light that is? Ink it up once, twice. Let's do this one this way. I'm wondering if I did it again. Oh, that's too light. So once, twice, 3 times. Once, twice. Let's get this one in here. Now, I want a little bit right there. So I think I have enough ink on there because I don't want what I call an angel card where we have a lot of white spots. Let me do that one right there. You can do another one right there. Okay, so that is just making a really soft, subtle background for us. And I'm going to take, let me run my bone folder around the edges. You know, I do this sometimes if I feel my edges are up. And I'm going to just adhere that to the top of my card. We're just going to put that right. Oops, this score wasn't quite straight. That must be the other half of the other card I had the other day. Okay, let's get this on here like this. Okay, and we're just going to put that right on there. Okay, I do want some type of a band down here. So I'm thinking I'm going to use the Harris sand. I was going to use a pattern paper, but I think it would get too busy. So I'm going to use the Harris sand. And let me see, actually, if I have a little bit narrower scrap. So I'm grabbing my scrap bin here. And I think this one would do good. So we're going to go with a little bit narrower, and we're going to do it the whole 4¼ inches. So we're going to take this all the way from edge of card to edge of card. Now, we could use a ribbon if we wanted to, because we could have wrapped it around this piece. We could use actually the gray granite goes with this. In fact, I think I kind of like that, but no, I'm not going to use it because I want it to go from edge to edge on my card. So I'm just going to make sure my edges are flat and take this and run it right along that edge. Okay, so that's going to leave me an edge at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to pop this up. Now, when I pop this up, I'm going to use dimensionals. However, I am not going to run them all the way along the top because, ooh, this would be pretty too, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, I said I wasn't going to use the foil side, but ooh, I do like that. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to show you how I'm just going to do my dies. And they're going to be sticking up. Just like this. Let's get that pop of color, and that's going to change. Look at how that makes it all pop. And then we have the white. Okay. I don't know. I like them both. I am thinking though that since we have this foil up here, if I do the foil, it kind of takes away from that. So we're going to go ahead and use the side I originally decided. I can always make 2 cards. I can make another card with the other side facing up, right? So I am going to put my dimensionals down about 1/4 inch from that top edge. And one here, and then one in the center. But I'm staying away from that top edge. And that's because I want to be able to tuck in my leaves, my foliage. So let's get this here. And I'm just going to set that down just a little bit on that. And this is not quite centered. It's to the right a little bit, which is what I want. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Now, you could put using our adhesive sheet, so this stuck down flat, but I like a little bit of 3D. So I'm actually going to use my silicone mat, and I am just going to place little dots of glue in these junctions on this. And that is going to be enough to hold this onto my card. Very carefully, I'm going to slide that right in there and press it down. Now, this center part is stuck down, but my leaves have a 3D effect. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to our green. I'm so happy you guys picked mint macaron. Thank you for helping me. Okay, we're going to stick this one right over here and just hold it down for just a second. This one we're going to place in the center. Once again, just those junction spots. You don't even have to do the stem. So we've got those two junction spots there. I'm going to have this one go over this way a little bit, just because I feel that it kind of blends in a little bit with that foil. And we have this white. Now, if we wanted, we could use our blending brush and we could give this one a little bit of color, but I want the white. And believe it or not, it's going to show up even though it's white on white. And that's because we're crossing over that foil. And you're going to hold that down because I glued it right there, and that's kind of in the junction of that. Okay, so we've got that. It's almost all done. Next, I want to take some pearls, and I think I want to put pearls because I want to keep it pretty neutral. I don't want to distract from my floral arrangement here. So we're just going to take some pearls, and we've got some pearls around. So I need a little bit more tacky out. Oops. See if I can get that one. So we're going to put this one down here. And put this one here. And we're going to put this one here. So I want them within the cluster of my images there. I've got that there. The only thing left is a sentiment. And let's see what we are going to use. I am going to do Let's Celebrate. I think this has been my go-to this week, right? We're going to do the Let's Celebrate. And we're going to keep with the neutral tone. So we're going to use the Sahara Sand, but we're going to use it full strength. And by using it full strength, it's really going to stand out. Let me stamp this right on here. Let's celebrate. Ta-da! So I hope you enjoyed this card today. I think it's kind of gorgeous. It has a lot of die cuts, but it's very easy to do. I truly believe you beginners can do this card also. Good evening, Janet. Thanks for joining us. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's class. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.